Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely beautiful, true story straight from the handwritten diary of a student named Kanishk. We're going to explore the profound depths of childhood bonds, how they shape us, and how, some memories just stubbornly refuse to fade, no matter how much time passes. We're unpacking a lived experience here that honestly reads like a movie script, but it is 100% real. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, let's listen to this incredibly powerful opening thought from Kanishk. Friendship is until our destiny ends. I mean, wow. That perfectly sets the stage for a journey about a bond that completely defies time and separation. When a kid writes that friendship lasts until destiny ends, you just know you're about to read something with some serious emotional weight. This isn't just about sharing a lunchbox. We're talking about a soul-deep connection here. Seeing Kanishk's actual handwritten journal is amazing because it really grounds us in the raw authenticity and innocence of his personal memories. You can almost feel the intent behind every single pen stroke. It's a tangible piece of his personal history. We aren't just analyzing abstract concepts today. We're looking directly into the documented heart of a young boy trying to make sense of the people who came in and out of his life. So, Kanishk's school life kind of breaks down chronologically into four distinct eras, showing how four very different friends shaped his world over the years. We kick things off at the beginning in first and second standard, then move into a period of comfort in third and fourth, hit a harsh reality check in seventh and eighth, and finally find profound healing in ninth and 10th standard. And as you'll see, each era is totally defined by one specific person. Chapter 1, First Friend, Semple Nathan. So meet the kid who started it all, the absolute anchor of this entire diary. The crucial thing to understand here is that this foundational friendship was actually incredibly brief. Kanishk and Senthil Nathan were only in the same class until the second standard. At that super young age, Senthil Nathan changed schools, and they were abruptly separated. But even though their time together was cut so short, this early bond left a completely indelible mark on Kanishk's heart. It basically became the impossible standard against which every future friendship was measured. Moving along into Kanishk's third and fourth standard years, the diary details a new figure entering his life. Picture a young Kanishk sitting in a new classroom, feeling that deep, heavy absence of his first friend, and just desperately needing someone to help him cope with that incredible loss. Chapter 2, Comforting Friend, Gokul Nath. Gokul Nath was this vital, grounding presence who actually stayed with Kanishk all the way through the 10th standard. And this quote from the diary brilliantly illustrates his deep empathy. Kanishk kept crying without forgetting Senthil Nathan, and Gokul Nath was the one who wiped those tears. Think about the emotional maturity it takes for a young kid to comfort another kid who is actively grieving the loss of someone else. Gokul Nath didn't demand to be the center of Kanishk's world. Instead, he just patiently sat with him and wiped his tears. It's an absolutely beautiful testament to selfless friendship. But, and this is the recurring theme of our explainer, Senthil Nathan was not forgotten. Even with Gokul Nath's incredible, unwavering support right there by his side, Kanishk's heart remained totally anchored to his very first friendship. No matter how much comfort he got, the memory of Senthil Nathan was just locked in. It's a fascinating look into human psychology, right? How our earliest attachments can take root in ways that literally nothing else can uproot. Okay, flipping to a new chapter in his 7th and 8th standard years, the story takes a slightly darker turn. Because as kids grow up, the dynamics of their relationships get a lot more complex. And unfortunately, sometimes a lot more transactional. Chapter 3, Jenna Who Betrayed. Now we're introduced to Gina, a friend who brought some much-needed academic help, but also some incredibly painful life lessons. Initially, Gina was super helpful with schoolwork. He helped Kanishk clear up his study doubts, which created a solid bond built on that academic support. But that trust, it was completely shattered during a school project competition. Kanishk had spent his own money to buy materials for a shared project, and Gina ultimately betrayed him over the financial side of things. This was Kanishk's first real taste of betrayal, a harsh wake-up call that, hey, not everyone operates with the pure intentions of a childhood playmate. And yet, here we are again. Senthil Nathan was not forgotten. Despite the sting of betrayal from a new companion and that natural cynicism that usually follows something like that, Kanishk notes that his memory of his pure first friendship with Senthil Nathan remained entirely untouched. Actually, the betrayal by Jaina probably made the innocent memory of Senthil Nathan shine even brighter in Kanishk's mind. So moving into his 9th and 10th standard years, the diary reveals what is arguably the most vulnerable period of Kanishk's young life.
He faces a really significant health crisis, one that threatens not just his schooling, but his fundamental well-being.
Chapter 4. Mukund, who became mother. Talk about a stark contrast here. We just talked about Jenna, a friend who exploited him for money, right? Well, Mukund is the exact opposite. During this time, Kanishk suffered a severe brain illness that heavily impacted his ability to learn and retain information. He was struggling immensely. And Mukund stepped in not just as a study buddy, but quite literally like a caregiver, offering a level of support that went way, way beyond your typical teenage friendship. I really want you to let this quote from the diary sink in. Mukund looked after him in school like a mother. Wow, what an incredibly powerful way for a young boy to describe his friend. Sadly, Mukund's own mother eventually had to step in and separate the two boys because providing all that demanding care was causing Kanishk to struggle with his exams. But even with that forced separation, Mukund's selfless, maternal help during that severe illness stands out as a massive beacon of true goodness in Kanishk's life. But again, Senthil Nathan was not forgotten. Through the comfort of Gokulnath, the bitter betrayal of Gina, and even the motherly healing care of Mukund, the overarching narrative of Kanishk's life always circles right back to the boy he lost in the second standard. Senthil Nathan is kind of like the ghost that quietly haunts every single page of this diary. Chapter 5. An Unforgettable Friendship. Okay, so we finally hit the emotional climax of the story. What's truly fascinating is a realization Kanishk shares toward the very end of his writings. He points out that his first friend's name, Senthil Nathan, actually translates to Lord Murdigan, a revered deity. Kanishk frames this friend almost as a divine presence in his life journey, like a guiding spirit who, even in his absence, kept him grounded and hopeful through all those crazy trials of his youth. And on the final page of the diary, after years of separation, and after all the different friends who came and went, destiny finally plays its hand. The two original friends are brought back together in a setting that feels almost overwhelmingly meant to be.
The diary says he saw his friend at Marudamalai Murugan temple. He kept crying, thinking of him. They actually reunite at the Marudamalai Murugan temple. I mean, the symbolism here is just staggering. He meets the boy named after Lord Murugan at the temple of Lord Murugan. The tears Kanishk cried in the third standard when they were first separated fall once again. But this time, they aren't tears of loss. They're tears of an unforgettable reunion. All those years of holding onto a memory finally culminated in this single, incredibly powerful moment. But Kanishk is profoundly wise, and he doesn't end his diary by just romanticizing the past. He ends it by gracefully honoring the present. He takes a moment to acknowledge Gokulnath, the steadfast friend who actually remained by his side through the comfort, the betrayal, the illness, literally everything in between. It beautifully defines the complexities of human connection, doesn't it? We can hold a lifelong torch for a lost connection while simultaneously being so deeply grateful for the solid, unwavering friends who actually walk the daily path with us. So, as we close out this touching explainer on the resilience of childhood bonds, I want to turn it over to you. We've seen how a bond formed in the first standard can ripple across an entire lifetime. So, I leave you to wonder, who is the Senthil Nathan in your own life? Who is that one person from your earliest days whose memory still brings a sudden rush of emotion? Think about them today. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this incredible true story, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.